Welcome back to episode 125 of Tall Boy Radio, and a special welcome if you're listening in Croatia. We just added country number 47, so that's 47 countries that have embraced the TBR experience, and we're grateful for each and every one of you. Now, there's no Andy tonight, but we do have Gaz back with us this week. So, Gaz, if you want to say hello and tell us a little bit about what it is that you're drinking.
Yeah, evening, chaps. Evening, the world. Hope everyone is having a good night, day, evening, wherever you are. I'm looking forward to this. And just for those that can't really see very clearly, I'm drinking out of a TBR podcast original merchandise glass. I'm actually drinking a beer called Brewdog, Punk IPA from Brewdog. And if that goes, when that goes, I've got this little beauty, which is Urban Fog, which is an absolute beaut of a beer. So looking forward to this. Not quite sure where it's going to go. No doubt a couple of left turns along the way, but we'll see where we end up.
Winner. And I'm also on the Brewdog tonight, as it happens, Gaza. I am drinking, for those of you who can see this, it is the Brewdog Silk Road, 6.5%. It's a hazy IPA, which is flavoured with lychee and mango. So that's 2 of me 5 a day. And I'm not drinking out of a TBR podcast glass. I'm drinking out of a Designated Quizzes podcast glass. Nice. So, Gaz and I and Andy guested on that recently. Do you remember much about it, Gazza?
Yeah, I remember the first half. Yeah, it went really well. Not so sure about the second half.
Yeah, that one comes out in July, and just as a bit of a spoiler, Gaz got absolutely mullered and was slurring rather badly come the end of it.
Yeah, various sort of vodka and coffee liqueur and various other not very nice drinks. So
it was a winner. It was.
Yeah, it's good fun.
Unlike us, because we didn't win that one. Another spoiler alert there. So we have a couple of guests tonight. We're joined by 3/5 or 60%, whichever way you want to say it, of a band called Double Denim Company. So who wants to say hello first? So, go on.
Let's go with the singer, eh? Introduce yourself.
Do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself too?
Go on, then, lead guitarist.
Me?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah. John. I play all the widdly bits in the band, and tonight, because I'm working straight after this, I'm on the coffee. I'm afraid, with some Alpro soy milk, which is delightful.
Lovely.
I'm on Tim, the lead singer. We didn't obviously get the sort of like the been told we should have a drink before, because you two are pulling out the beers. I'm on a cup of tea, and actually a decaf Yorkshire tea as well, and a nice sort of flatter artwork.
Nice.
Yeah, a Tuesday brew.
I'm Justin, but I'm Justin, a drummer, but everyone calls me Jopper. I've not let you down, boys. I'm on a, I don't know how you pronounce it.
Strong.
Oh, you little gnome.
Okay. Can I get this now?
Gnome, you.
Lovely little drop that is.
Lachouf.
All right, didn't get this now.
Nice strong Belgian beer there.
Secretive.
Good work, mate. That is.
Also drinking it out of a Purple Moose Brewery glass.
Nice.
Beautiful.
I like it, dude. I like it.
It is.
So
you can guest again, Jopper. You can.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, yeah. Of course, killjoys.
Fit right in.
I'm also eating nuts, just like raw nuts as well. With a bit of olive oil on it and Tabasco.
All right. Oh, fair play.
I think it's the Health King.
You got a mouthful of nuts again?
Yeah,
Terrible.
Oh, carry on.
So we'll get back to nuts a little bit later, because that's one of our sponsors that we need to shout out. So we'll pretend that you're eating Ollie's nuts there and just gloss over that.
Fantastic.
Yeah, we'll edit that. It's fine.
Yeah, we won't. We're too lazy to edit. So who wants to tell us then first a little bit about your band, Double Denim Company?
Well, we've been going about 5 years now, 6 years, I think.
Yeah.
It started off me, John, and Bucky, who's not here tonight, just jamming in Bucky's attic. He had some drums in there and asked me to go along. And we just go up there every Friday afternoon, take a few beers up. And that was it. And then it just started from there. Then John went to Australia, and then he lived out there for how many years was it?
About 3.
3 years. Then he came back,
Stupidly.
and then just got together again. And Bucky says, "Oh, do you fancy just having a jam again for old time's sake?" We went down the music place that Barney had. Don't know if you know Barney. Remember Barney from school? He had the Greenway Music.
Radway Green.
Oh, yeah, I was thinking Barney Walters. Yeah, I know Barney.
What's
Yeah,
his
I know Barney.
surname? Can't think his surname.
Walters, did you say? Yeah.
Barney
No,
Walters.
that was a different one. Oh, Barney.
Everyone say like Rubble, but
Yeah.
Well, anyway, he had a music.
What's Rubble?
music
What's Rubble?
he had a music like school down there.
Quarry.
He used to rent us out the practice room.
Yeah.
So me, John, and Bucky used to go down there once a week and have a mess about. And then Tim got wind of it, and Tim was already in a band before, but they disbanded.
He was a rapper.
So Tim says, "Oh, I'll come down and have a sing with you." And then it just escalated. And then Barney said, "I guess you'll need a bass player." And I'm like, "Well, you can do." And that was it. And then we ended up getting Steve, didn't we?
It was Thunder Fingers.
We had a few. We had a few
A couple of
auditions, didn't we?
Yeah.
tried.
I
Yeah,
think
but you
Like, first one was
Kleptomania.
It was a bit dull. The first guy was a bit dull.
Oh, the guy who turned up for one night
Matt.
and said, I
Matt
don't
wants
really
it.
want to be in your band. I'm
Matt.
just coming just to see what it's about.
Yeah. So nothing ever goes like smoothly. We had Thunder Fingers, who was only good at playing a cream number, and he was like he'd like proper blues bass, but go do. You literally thought his hand was going to fly off. He was bass that quick, but everything else he couldn't do a simple. Like, I'm no bass player, but he couldn't do anything simple. But then he'd get this cream number, and he just his hands would just go like mental. You'd like, what is it? What? We'd always turn up in his work gear at like about 9 o'clock at night, wouldn't we?
Even
I
though
think
he
we thought it was
didn't
a
work.
cat burglar or something, didn't we?
The hidden throat was that he'd been robbing round the old Radway estate.
Yeah, because every week when we went back, security would ask us, didn't they, if we
It
saw
was like
anyone
dirty as
suspicious.
well, like climbing roofs and that. Yeah. It's something like, Thunder Thumbs.
So we went through a few bass players, didn't we, before we started gigging?
Yeah.
And then we were lucky to find Steve. And he played with us like up until very recently, until last year, not last March, when fortunately had a heart attack and passed.
Yeah, we saw that. That was a real
Found
shame.
a bass player now.
Okay.
Yeah. Totally unexpected.
Yeah, he was very gifted. He was sort of, we were sort of lucky to have him really, because he was so obsessed about music and that, and he could pick anything up so quickly, and massive into new wave British heavy metal sort of music and all that.
Yeah, he'd been doing it since the 80s. Had all spandex and everything.
Yeah. Turns out he had like a following of like, I always remember them saying something like Lars Ulrich knew of the band that he was in and stuff like this, because Lars Ulrich was massive into this like new wave of British heavy metal sort of scene.
Fair play.
He only ever had like released like one EP or something like this.
Yeah, Traitor's Gate.
Traitor's Gate they were called. Big out Traitor's Gate. Yeah.
They got quite a bit of a cult following, haven't they, I think.
Yeah. And he started at some point, I think they sort of came back. They sort of like started talking to each other, and then I think the band, it was like touring places like, especially like Greece and Germany and stuff like this, and it was getting a big following where all this sort of, sort of 80s hair metal is like a big, very sort of popular and stuff like that, and they were, they're doing well, and all of a sudden, it was,
Fair play.
Well,
Sorry, go on. Did Barnaby Smith? That was his name, by the way. But I had a quick look on Facebook. Barnaby, did he play with you then for a while? Did he?
No, he just loaned us his room. Yeah.
Ah, right.
He used to teach music down there, so we had a couple of practice rooms with some drums in it. So we used to go down there, didn't we? and he was kind enough to give us the key, so we used to go in and lock up and everything, and and it was we just went from there, didn't it? And we got Steve, started gigging, and then the unfortunate happened, and we were lucky again to find another bass player as quick as we did, really. As in Pete, but obviously he's away in south of France at the minute, so he couldn't have been on tonight.
Oh,
But
no commitment.
Well.
All this.
So the name choice then. So you say that you was it effectively Dropper. It is sort of yourself, a couple of others that started the group. Then was that always what you were called, or did the name sort of evolve once you were sort of a slightly bigger group, or where did the name choice come from?
Well, we came up with a name before we started gigging, didn't we? Because we had to really, because we had to advertise or something.
You can't just sort of say, "Oh yeah, we just got 5 random blokes just turning up." Yeah. Well, what they called? Yeah, we don't know.
I just remember.
We could have been called 5 random blokes.
Yeah, that is a good
quite the name actually. 5 random blokes.
Yeah, or 5 blokes that know each other. That'd probably that. Real random. Yeah, I think I remember like a couple of the names that we sort of came up. I always like the name Sticky Keyboard. Yeah, I did that, and Knock a Door Run as well. Knock a Door Run was going to be.
You see, that's better.
Yeah.
That probably would appeal to a few more people than Sticky Keyboard.
Sticky Keyboard sounds like a very questionable Google search.
We don't even have a keyboard.
Pads and phones.
Oh dear God.
Yeah. I just thought Knock a Door Run was a good one. I think like nostalgic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Wheelie Bins would be a good one actually. Now I think about it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Yeah, we did know it was Double Denim. It sort of came through, but I remember like, that Double Denim was like, and then I remember like looking on Facebook again. Well, no, we can't have Double Denim because there's one in Taunton, so we've got to add something else. And then I think Bucky wanted Double Denim Boys, maybe with a Z on the end of it, like a boy band thing. So I was like, what about Company? But no one ever says Company anyway.
You just go Double Denim.
Yeah.
And no one gets it right.
The joke is it winds us up. It doesn't really wind us up, but we're like, why can't we say Company as well? It's not that difficult.
I don't think they can fit it on those little signs that you get outside the pub. They can't seem to write Company.
Yeah. Well, just fit it on Jopper's bass drum, so it should be able to fit. Yeah. But it's been so that's how it sort of formed. I don't know. It was sort of it was a bit slapdash, didn't know what we were doing. With mates, is it gonna do this? And I'll tell 7 years down the line or something like that. Yeah.
I never thought it'd get to where it has, to be fair.
No,
I never thought I'd be able to do it in front of a live audience.
Get paid.
What were you like then? Obviously, when you started gigging, I mean, first gig, were you sort of shitting it a bit? Were you like proper nervous, or did it go okay? Or
I was well nervous, but it went all right, as I remember.
I can't remember where the first one was. Where was that?
Wasn't it the Raven?
Raven.
Okay.
And that was the only one where we got a rider, wasn't it? We had a bucket full of cans. That was
Red Bulls,
So we thought this is how it starts, This is we're going to get to every gig, and that's been the only gig we've got there.
So you don't have like a massive long list of sort of requests.
We do,
you do, but you don't get it.
Yeah.
Nowadays, nowadays you just got like a scythe. You ask for some water.
So how many people did you play? I mean, obviously you started humble beginnings and all that. So how many people were at sort of the first gig? Was it sort of one man and his dog type thing, or were there quite a few there? Or
quite a few, actually. My mum brought a lot of people.
Quite a big room, wasn't it?
It was,
So was it only you guys playing then, or was it part of like a battle of the bands type thing where you would get a few of you that went, or?
No, it was just in the pub. Yeah, just us.
Just
on like a sort of
wow, so literally
Saturday
just
night
you guys.
kind of thing.
Yeah. But I think it went down all right. As a band, I think we did a few mistakes. Myself, I did.
Yeah,
Everybody else is perfect.
I thought I was all right. Yeah.
We've got,
Not
yeah, we've
talking
got
himself here. Everyone else nailed it.
Jopper forgot his
I was
drumsticks.
there and said, yeah. No, but, yeah,
So,
I was nervous as hell. Yeah, I think we all were.
I think it
Yeah.
went down well though. We got a good reception.
Were you
And
asked back though? Did they ask you to go back there again?
No.
Funny enough,
Are we playing
Right.
there this year?
yeah,
Yeah,
we are
that-
playing this
yeah,
year.
yeah.
I got into an argument with the actual owner via email. Because I sent him, because he's like, yeah, okay, yeah, you can come back. He knew it was the first gig and all that, and it was like for being our first gig of this. And I played in like a couple of bands before, nothing, nothing ever big. But this one, they had like the Ravens puts quite a good production up. So like outside, they had this like big sign saying each band that's on every week. And I remember like we were standing outside having a photo, on this Friday when we were playing, pointing at it, and it was all a bit like, oh bloody hell, And we had this rider, this bucket of all Red Bulls and cans of Carling, stuff like that. And it was the first gig. We were quite nervous. Quite a few people there. I don't know, never counted it. It was a lot of my family sort of turned up and stuff like that. And I thought we did well, but he was like, yeah, definitely put you in again. I was like, okay, sound. And then I remember emailing him and he never replied. And I remember like sending something back a bit like, I don't know, wasn't, the best. So we never played there again until 5 years later.
Did it involve a sticky
we're now
keyboard?
there. The wind has blown that away, and we're playing this year on a Sunday, the coveted slot.
Oh, is it an afternoon?
Yeah, I think we do a lot of gigs on the Sunday now, but it is a good venue actually. Yeah, it's sort of one of the places you sort of pick up about bands that play around the South Cheshire, North Staffordshire sort of circuit, and you just, occasionally do sort of look, see what they're like and all that. And a lot of them do play there, and we have got, we've got a gig there, but yeah, that's it really. Yeah.
So I say in putting the band together, were you all sort of into the same type of music? Was there a sort of an argument, a discussion in terms of sort of actually the type of music that you play, or was it a relatively straightforward thing? Oh yeah, we'll just play what we want basically, or is there who holds the sort of wears the trousers in terms
it's
of
a constant battle, isn't it? I think.
Well, to be fair, I mean,
Don't even go down that road. Go somewhere else.
Yeah.
No, I've opened that little can. If
Yeah,
I'm gonna keep going, come on.
John would
Yeah.
like to play thrash metal if he could.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the
Not to do
70s.
hip-hop.
yeah, I do it. The hip hop is a bit
I'm
punk
happy with
aside,
it. I'm
that.
happy with it.
70s glam rock's not really something I'm.
Yeah.
You're going proper sort of thrash metal, and these guys want sort of wizard and things like that. So
Yeah, I think we have been.
I'm the most happiest with all the music, if I'm honest.
Yeah, we
I
only
listen
play the
to things
ones we
like
can
without, but we do know it's still a democracy and all that. It's not, we don't argue about it or anything like that.
Not to your face.
they're entitled to their opinion as long as it's the same as yours. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
got,
no, I don't
we have,
think so,
we
you
have
know.
like secret WhatsApp feeds that only certain
Yeah.
members are on and stuff. The rhythm section or the something,
Yeah, but I'd like to think, it's not as if like we're writing music and it's like, we musical differences. We're playing covers.
Yeah.
Imagine having to do stuff where you're playing like Ed Sheeran and bloody Killers all the time and all that. At least we're sort of slightly sticking to a guns. We, certain jokes that we say like, we'll never do like Sex on Fire and Chelsea Dagger and stuff like this. Conform. So John probably thinks he's conforming by playing some of the stuff we play, but he's not super conforming. And it, we're called double. Let's be honest, we're called Double Denim Company, so we've got to play 70s, 80s stuff.
Yeah,
the joke is on. We're playing a 90s song.
Yeah, if Eddie Stobart had a band, it would be us.
Yeah.
Can we say Eddie Stobart or any trucking firm?
No, Eddie Stobart's fine. He might be listening. You never know. So if you are Eddie, then hey, both these guys.
We're happy to play on the next CD if they do one. Yeah.
Yeah, we could have us on the back of an Eddie Stobart truck. Playing.
Just like this.
That's
That'll
what
make people
dreams
keep the
made
distance.
If they could do a denim like covered truck, that'd be cool, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well, yeah. It's just sort of dream.
You should have all Eddie Stobart drivers in double denim.
Yeah, forget the shirt and the tie that they have to wear. Just double denim. If you see an Eddie Stobart guy with that denim top on, that's it. Bring his number.
Can
Real
we get
trucking.
him on now? Can somebody get him on? Is he on Skype?
ring him up. But I mean, you just mentioned there that you sort of play covers. I mean, do you write your own stuff? Have you ever sort of considered writing your own stuff? Or
I think Bucky tried a few times, and we sort of just like it was tumbleweed.
Yeah.
Right. Sort of
So was
back on it. He sort of
Like a
It's
voice
like,
memo.
let's stick with what we're doing.
yeah.
No one likes going right. Okay, you play like play like a decent Stone song, and you go right. This one's done by the rhythm guitarist. That's when everyone goes to the bar, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's one of our original.
Well, trying to write a song.
This is a new song by even a successful band. This is our new song. Play the frigging hits. Can we swear on this? Anyway, I actually said
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can. Yeah.
Brilliant. Okay.
Oh, that's it now. Floodgates.
It's gone down, yeah.
Yeah, open now, that's fine.
That's my trouble when we gig. Bucky always says like,
No F-bomb.
"Cannot swear much." I'm like, all right. Yeah.
Fudging.
Yeah.
I manage. I do manage.
I think we're trying to get the set list, aren't we, to where it's sort of, if you imagine every other band that has a final 2 songs that are the best, they're the ones we want on the set list.
Yeah.
So that it's just made up of all those like big songs.
Yeah.
What's your normal finale and what do you normally finish on?
Well, always. Go on, say it. We all know what it is.
A quo.
Quo walking all over the world. Yeah.
Got to be, hasn't it? I mean, what?
Till a David
So you've got
band
it like this, have you?
disbands, that'll be the last song ever.
Yeah, because by then pretty much everyone's leathered and they're all up and dancing. So.
It's true. And you'll be so surprised that when you finish and you're doing the horrible thing of rolling up cables and packing away, the amount of people you hear whistling it.
Well, you mean you don't get roadies that come and collect all the stuff for you? Surely you don't do it yourself, guys. Come on, you've got to get some roadies that,
Now you're
not quite that level yet.
No groupies needed, do we?
No groupies here, no. That's,
I'm drinking a cup of
groupies
tea.
before roadies, yeah.
I haven't got women fanning me down, feeding me grapes.
I wondered where you're going now. I was a bit worried at one point.
Yeah.
Oh, there was that one in the Woodside, wasn't there?
Who?
Who's that? Oh,
Great
God, that
woman.
drunk. Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely.
There's no,
Oh, the one that fell over the speaker. Yeah.
Yeah, the one that says
She
Jopper.
dented the monitor speaker.
He's a fit
with her
fucker,
arse.
he is. What was that one, Jopper? I was like, she was, granted, she was the joke of the night, how drunk she was.
Yeah.
But, still flattery, eh?
Absolutely.
That's rock and roll.
That is.
Exactly. You just got to think, what would Ozzy do?
Even Ozzy doesn't know what Ozzy would do.
Yeah.
Probably go
Ozzy had an
for the bat.
interesting women anyway.
Yeah, I was going to say, hold on, didn't we mention bats before? Didn't mention Ozzy and bats in the same sentence, bloody hell.
Yeah, I don't think Ozzy had any interest in women anyway. He was that off his head. He was interested in drugs. Only really. I don't think he wasn't like a shagabout, was he? Sure.
You wouldn't have thought it'd be up to it, would you? God bless him.
No, yeah. Free Viagra as well, so he probably
wasn't Sharon always in the background though, kind of keeping him in check.
Yeah, I don't know how long. I mean, I think they've been together for like a long time. It's not like a recent thing, is it? He hasn't got famous and then like ditched his missus and then gone to Sharon. I think she's been.
Wasn't she his manager or something like that?
Yeah.
Tour manager, wasn't she?
Her old dad, Don Arden, he was like the manager of Black Sabbath, and then she sort of took over. She sort of like divorced her father or something like that. Yeah, she's Arden's nails.
Yeah, because there's a documentary in there about like Metallica and them. She's bowling them all and keeping them in check when they're boozing.
She went to like some record company once and like shat in a box and then give it as a gift. And then we opened it and Sharon's turd was there. You know,
You have to put that through the legal.
Yeah, brilliant. You know, and it's sort of like, that sort of 70s rock and roll world. Sharon Osbourne was an odd lady, and you got to applaud her, wholeheartedly. She
Absolutely.
she sort of, took no shit, which
she takes no shit. She gives lots of shit. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Thankfully, my partner's not here, so she's not getting any ideas.
So I mean, obviously there's 5 of you guys. So how often do you get to meet up? How often do you?
Only once
nowadays. Is it just you basically meet up once a week? Yeah.
Yeah. Go up. Where is it now? Benton.
What's it called? Something Riff
Factory.
Riff Factory. Yeah. Just outside of Fenton. Yeah.
They've got how long would it take you to sort of, if you were to pick up a new song and you were to sort of cover a new song, how long would it take you sort of going up, sort of practicing it before you sort of roll it out, on a gig night?
Just depends how tricky it is.
Yeah. I mean, some songs like
the simple
did that Crow one, and that was, we thought it was going to be easy. Is it Down Down?
Oh yeah.
Tried playing that. That was tricky.
Shite. Yeah.
That's hard, wasn't it? So we scrapped that one.
We dropped that one. We dropped quite a few. We
sometimes like the simple ones you try.
Yeah.
Turn out being, it's easy for me. I just sing, so but it is like the simple ones. You go, it's actually complicated. It's either because it's like very repetitive. Like Crow can be like sort of, there's like drum sort of fills that are, it's trying to, like these stuff is, it's probably like rock and roll stuff, like 50s, 60s stuff.
Right.
We're never going to do Bohemian Rhapsody.
We're not.
Yeah.
Honest. Not this year.
Not this year.
Well, I think people just like that simple sort of, the.
Well, yeah, makes it easy for me if it's a nice simple one.
Yeah.
Foot tappers.
Not the most like technically gifted drummer you'd ever meet, but try and keep it simple as I can.
Well, you give it a go.
Yeah.
Neither was Ringo Starr, and it worked out okay for
him. I have improved.
He didn't.
You mean you can do two at once now? Oh, wow, that's impressive.
I can pack my bag.
I think it's all you need, really. You just need that sort of like, that sort of banging sort of, no one wants it.
Keep rhythm,
yeah. Nothing too sort of, because when you've had a drink, and that's, we'd like to sort of think of us, a band that, likes to play people that have had a drink. You don't nothing too. You don't want to whack out Pink Floyd and have like a 8-minute sort of intro. If I'm honest, no offense to Pink Floyd, not a massive fan, but you go on a bit, don't you?
They do.
Yes.
They do. I'm not a fan.
We're not big.
I'm not really. I can appreciate the guitarist and that, but yeah, it's a bit yawn fest.
I'll tell you what I wouldn't mind doing though is
don't let him
Blondie. I know Adam likes a bit of Blondie.
I don't mind a bit of Blondie, do you?
Oh yeah. I'm
gonna sing. Are we getting?
Don't think I'll get away. Yeah, don't think I'll get away with the Debbie Harry.
Yeah, you might need some
opposite of Blondie.
You.
Yeah.
Well, the miniskirt was a mistake.
Yeah.
Fair play. So we had a guy on a couple of weeks ago, didn't we, Gazza, called Anon, or he called himself Anon from Pittsburgh. And he told us a couple of stories where he just reveled in the chaos, didn't he? And basically just creating chaos and leaving wherever he was. Yeah. Have you ever had that where a gig's gone completely pear-shaped?
What, as in like crowd trouble?
Yeah, crowd trouble, yeah.
Not really, no.
One tutty that once.
What's that?
Didn't we?
I
can't remember whether we sort of finished one early or no. We turned up for one, didn't we? In Crew, and they said we'd closed down.
Oh yeah, that was the bridge. Yeah.
Oh God, yeah, that was the bridge in. Yeah. Well, yeah. He phoned us and he didn't say like, yeah, if you can still come and we turned up.
You can come and play, but we've closed down, and we're like, well, what?
Yeah, but you can still come in and play for the staff if you want, or something like that. No, and it was like in the car, and it was like the week just before Christmas, and I was like, I was really wanting to drink. I was like, no. I'm going to drive back. I mean, going back the near or something like that. It's never been like massively rock and roll. I'll level with you.
I would like to play like in America somewhere, where you play behind one of them cages and you're all chucking beers at it.
Like Roadhouse, yeah.
Cooler.
You just carry on playing through it.
So, I mean, you mentioned that you haven't done a gig where there's been like crowd trouble and stuff. Have you done a gig where you guys either are not feeling it or you think, oh my god, this is like going so wrong and we sound so bad or we're out of time, that you just think, we're just going to knock it on the head and just like, or do you just keep sort of muddling through and try and get to the end of your set?
Yeah, the key is to like play on. Yeah.
Just get through it if you can.
John, what was that one in Miles Green? Royal Oak in Miles Green. I always remember.
Oh yeah.
People there.
Tiny
and then after the first set, I remember going to the bar and some Scottish guy turned to me and says, "You're all right. You're a bit loud, aren't you?" And there was like 5 or 6 people there, and I went,
and his dog.
Yeah, and I was like, well, let's turn it down a little bit. And I was like, what are you doing, playing chess or something?
Yeah, it was a bit weird because I think they book us and then the five of us turn up and it can get quite loud and I always feel a bit awkward if people are having a meal or something and we're stood right in front of.
Oh God, no! Oh,
massive amp. We've done a few.
I can't name names about the place. The one that's a bit dodgy. There seems to be a lot of prostitutes going on. I'm not going to say the name of the place. It's sort of
that Gillo guy in there, wasn't there?
Yeah, you go there and you start your first set and everyone was like eating the steak dinners, and then it was a lot of Eastern European women coming. You could tell by the jeans. Come in. Not going to lie, this would come in, and then all the blokes would be like chatting at the bar, and it's weird. Like when it's like when you sing as well, you can sort of like muscle memory the sort of lyrics. So you're basically like singing, but going, what is going on there? Look at what bloody hell! And then these older blokes would come in and be taken off, and it was like a sort of motel behind the actual bar place. Hope it's not giving clues, but anyway.
It sort of makes that was funny.
And the guy was like a proper gangster. I remember like the first gig we did, he asked how much it was, and I said how much I thought he said, and he's like, never paid that much, never. And he was being like really aggressive to you. I was like, okay, well, what do you normally pay? And he went that, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah. But he was like,
the Germans have scored.
Yeah. No, he wasn't German.
You turned his jukebox off as well, and it took ages to boot back up at the end. He wasn't happy about that, was he?
Oh God, yeah, I did, yeah.
He didn't like us playing that Slade Christmas song either, did he?
Oh no, he hated it. Yeah, worst song I've ever heard. I think.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah. It was Christmas, and we had a couple of Christmas songs. It was Slade, "Merry Christmas, Everyone," and what was the other one?
It wasn't Wizard.
I think it was Shaky, wasn't it? And then we started playing Slade, and he was shouting at the back while someone was eating a steak like that. Then don't want none of this fucking shite. But he was one of them sort of blokes, and some people like you don't know if you mean it or not, and you think you try your luck. The whole sort of like turn off that jukebox incident. I thought he was joking with me, but. No, he wasn't. Yeah, he was just a very angry man. Yeah, and he just didn't like me. And I emailed him
aggressive gig we've done. Yeah,
I emailed him this year actually asking for a gig and never got back to me. Fucking prick. Curly haired blondie.
I think we've all said we'll never play there again, though, will we?
Yeah, but I'd like to play there again.
No, well, I don't know. Bad atmosphere. Yeah,
it was. It might have changed now. Since pre-COVID, everyone's glad to be out.
Well, yeah, other bands have played there, haven't they? And said how great it is.
Yeah, there's some like big bands on the circuit that play there. Yeah, which always baffles me. I always like to be a fly on the wall and see what it's like. Yeah.
What, in one of them rooms behind it?
Yeah, behind a Polish wall. Yeah. Vagina wall. Sorry.
So we're going to take a slight break now because, unfortunately, as John said at the start, he needs to go and look at some bats, and then we'll start back up with an advert for Ollie's.
Right.
welcome back then to Tall Boy Radio. We'll give a quick shout out to our friends at Ollie's before we move on. If you're based in the UK, you can go to ollies-ollies.com and get yourself 20% off the order by using promo code TALLBOYRADIO. So if you're buying pretzels, chocolate pretzels, olives, or one of their nut mixes, bang a few of those in your basket. And don't forget that promo code. It's UK only, I'm afraid, and it's Tall Boy Radio, all one word, all capitals, for 20% off your order. And they have asked us to say that their chocolate-covered pretzels are now available in 900 Sainsbury's local stores all around the country. Right, guys. So back now, we've said goodbye to John. He's gone to look at some bats. And so he tells us. I don't know whether he's...
Yeah, that'll check.
Yeah, that old euphemism.
Yeah.
Whether he's headed off to...
as well.
So, like, we talked then a little bit about the style of music that you do, and any sort of differences. What's Jopper? What's your favourite song to perform then?
Mine to perform. To be fair, I like Honky Tonk. I like playing that. Yeah, I do. Yeah, it's the cowbell at the start, I think.
Everyone loves the cowbell. Come on.
Yeah.
Well, cowbells t-shirts say. Yeah.
Oh, it's hard to handle as well. By the Black Crows, I like doing that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Was it Otis Redding did that originally?
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Yeah, it was originally. Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
But obviously, yeah, he did the Black Crows version.
Yeah, fair play. Fair play. What about yourself, Tim?
It'll be you too. Where the streets have no name. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
It's very sort of, it's, because you're sort of doing, it's all that sort of very sort of full on sort of like classic rock, and it's like a slow down. And I've done this like really shit joke about, get your lighters out. Well, if you haven't got lighters, get your e-cigs out. And I've probably repeated this too many times.
Was that the video that they did on top of the liquor store? Was that the one that the famous video where okay.
Top of the building, yeah.
But I don't know, I really enjoy singing it, and I can sort of put on a Bono impression when I'm doing it. Yeah. I can sing it well. It's a difficult song to sing, but I don't find that one difficult to sing. Not to be like an arrogant sort of thing, because there's other songs that I'd love to sing, but I couldn't do it, like AC/DC. Can't do it. We'll never do an. As we said, we won't never do an AC/DC song because it's too difficult for me.
Trying to emulate.
Yeah, and I don't want to do it in a different key or anything like that. And I don't like seeing cover bands, the singers doing Bon Scott and that. It doesn't sound right. I'm like, nah. Bucky would love us to do. I think most would love us to do DC. Yeah. But I'm always like, nah, I can't get it perfect. Well,
we did Jailbreak, didn't we?
Yeah, we did an AC/DC one, which no one knew. So we'd say we're doing Jailbreak. We thought it was Thin Lizzy, but it wasn't. It was Jailbreak by AC/DC, and it's a cracking song. And I could sing it.
It's a good song, yeah.
It's not, that. Like Bon Scott sang like it was the last song he was ever going to sing.
Yeah.
And I'd have another 7 to sing, so I can't do that.
So when you do your covers, do you look to change it up a little bit, or are you literally just like it's as the original? It's just you guys covering the original. Do you look to try to sort of change it up a bit or not? Or
we don't intentionally try to change it, but it's never to the CD.
All there,
yeah. We sort of.
It is hard to try and get it just like the original, isn't it?
Yeah. I think so. Yeah, we sometimes simplify it more because it's just easier than faffing about. Yeah. It's like I said before.
And with us only getting to like practice once a week together, it's like you try and get the basis of it and then get it all together and say, yes, that sounds all right. Sometimes it frustrates me because it's like, well, there should be a little fill there, or that should be like that, and it's like I can't. I've got enough time to practice it.
Yeah, you do get wound up by it. Well, but I was like, look, let's just keep it. What do we say? Let's
keep it simple. Like I say,
you know what I mean?
Sometimes it sounds better if you could just keep that groove, that beat. Yeah, it just sounds just as good anyway.
Yeah,
as long as you're not off time.
You do sort of pick up that like sort of gigging live. That you'll notice like mistakes or stuff like that. Any slight ones. no one notices.
Yeah,
you know,
you'll notice it because you're
unless
playing
like
or
a
singing,
massive,
but
yeah,
the
unless
audience
you're a
won't.
massive geek, you know, and like Airsy's got certain things about doing. Because I've always wanted to do Freebird. I've got to fucking do Freebird.
Skinner.
Massive, massive fuck off solo. You know,
Yeah.
I could go to bar, come back, reach wall while he's fucking piddling away 24 minutes. But he's always like, no, because there's going to be someone, there's going to be.
Yeah, bum note there. This is wrong.
Well,
Yeah,
it's probably not even just that. I think he just thinks it's fucking 23 minutes. I'm just sorry. Like you're in a bar having shots and. But it is, yeah, because we did like Hotel California, but he never liked doing the solo. He fucking nailed it. I couldn't see anything wrong with it. He's a perfectionist, and he'd be like, I couldn't get it right. I think some guy was looking, you know, and I'd be like,
no, come on, dude.
Yeah, no one really. No,
We'll suggest a song sometimes, and then it's like I'll go and listen to it on a streaming service. I'm allowed to say, "Oh yeah, Spotify."
Yeah, we're on Spotify. You can say it, dude.
That's fine.
Yeah, sponsored by.
Yeah, so you listen to it on there. So I go home and try and practice it on my electric drum kit. And I'm trying, and then I get to practice. I'll just totally do nothing like I've done, but just keep the beat, and that's it. It's like it frustrates me sometimes, but But like sometimes you'll also watch a live version on YouTube that a band's done, and it is a bit different to what they've done in the studio anyway. You know what I mean? So,
well, the thing is in the studio is that that they're going to have take after take after take until they get it exactly the way that they envisage it to sound, and then they try and do it live, and they probably can't do that because you don't get 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 20 takes when you're live. You just get that one go at it, and it probably sounds slightly different.
Then it's all mixed and it's recorded separate, put together, aren't they? So
yeah. So you've mentioned. I mean, obviously we won't name the establishment, but you've mentioned a couple of sort of dodgy gigs that you've done. What would be what's your sort of favourite gig that you've done? What's the bit that you think actually, you know what, that was a gig that either the crowd went wild and mad for it, or you just enjoyed it because you felt as though you're on point, sort of thing? What's the best one that your favourite gig?
Best one for me was the first time I did the music festival.
In the tent?
In Alsager, in the tent.
Yeah.
Just because the crowd
that was the first thing that came to my head, actually.
Yeah. And was that just a crowd interaction and just
it was weird. Yeah. Everything was like sort of, you know, it's got to sound American, but it was all very locked in. And it was very sort of, you know, we were all sort of, I don't know, it was just like, because it was a biggish tent. It was like a marquee tent. It wasn't like a 2-man tent.
Two of us are in there. The rest of the band are outside.
Right, settle there, Jopper. Right, have you got any plugs? When do we plug in here? Yeah, but yeah, it must be about 600 people there. But it was a baking hot day. It was like pre-pandemic, and I was nervous. I don't really like to say, I don't get nervous, but. You get them jittery things, but you get them if I'm going out. I get them sort of, butterflies, but good butterflies, positive sort of butterflies. But I always remember them being like, "Oh, whoa, bloody hell!" And we were like headlining this sort of what was the stage called? Marquee stage, wasn't it?
It's like Marquee tent, yeah.
Yeah, and it was like baking hot, and it was the last time Alsager Music Festival did like a free festival because there's a lot of trouble ensued that night. Not because of us. We didn't
it's you.
Smash this bit up after this. Let's show them what it is. But I always remember like loads of and it was like proper rocking, and we were playing like Tie Your Mother Down.
Yeah, everyone's on the shoulders, weren't they, and stuff. Tops off.
Yeah, and like loads of like youngsters. Spoken like a 42-year-old.
Yeah, I was going to say
they're probably like, probably about 15, 16, stuff like that. On each other's shoulders. And I remember like singing, thinking, I don't fucking clue what this song is. Yeah. We were loving it because it was like,
loving it.
Everyone, and seeing people I knew and, everyone there. Yeah, that was, I always remember. And it was getting like very sort of rowdy, Like I say, I'm not saying that the reason why it all kicked off later on towards. In fact, you know what I am going to say?
Yeah, you are going to say proper rock and roll. Yeah, you played a good Queen song.
The police got involved. Yeah. Yeah, it was
Do you
basically
play
like.
quite a bit? Do you play quite a bit of Queen? I mean, I love Queen. I love their music and stuff. But do you play quite a bit of Queen or not? Or?
We do Time Over Down, Crazy Little Thing
Crazy
Called
Little Thing.
Love, and do another one. Trying to think.
Yeah, I don't think we do. No.
No.
Just those two.
Just those
No,
two.
we don't do, like I say, we don't do Bohemian Rhapsody. I love Queen. Yeah, it's only a few you can sort of do of Queen.
Yeah,
it's very summer. We try. Me and Bucky always want to do Fat Bottom Girls, but
Right.
doesn't
It's
like
harmony.
the harmony bit at the start.
Okay.
I think it'd slide. I think no one would give a shit.
Yeah, exactly. It's one of those.
But
It's
he's
Queen.
like,
Yeah,
no,
it's sound.
That's, yeah, and we might emphasise the at some point.
Sure, we could revisit that one in the practice room one day.
Yeah, I'd love to do it because it's got one of the greatest riffs. Yeah, the riff's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Especially like the jazz album.
Yeah.
It goes on, but it goes on in a good way. Yeah.
You guys doing the music festival this year then?
Headlining again, yeah.
And again, you're headlining again,
Yeah.
Nice work.
Yeah, fair play.
Yeah, I was a bit sort of unsure about it at the start, think, we've sort of done it.
It's never good.
Yeah, no, I just sort of thought, because Pete's obviously on the committee for it, but when I was speaking to someone who's on the committee, we said, look, the reason why I do want it because you bring in a good crowd. It's not because let's get you in to do it. It's because they've had headliners before and people just bugger off.
Yeah.
Because you've been drinking all day and all that.
Yeah.
And having us because we know sort of local people and that as well, and we are also fucking shit hot, if I'm honest. We are good. We are now. Yeah. I do believe we are. Yeah.
I've seen you guys.
Have you two seen us live?
Yeah.
Well, I've seen you at the music festival, and obviously Christmas lights turn on. You guys were there last year as well, haven't you?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, and you saw us at Miles Green. You were the guy that told us to turn it down.
So I mean,
you recognise you.
Ruined a good steak dinner, you bastards did.
It was a lovely meal for two we were having. Honestly, we were proper enjoying that steak we were having. It's beautiful. And then you guys rock up. I mean, come on, sort yourselves out.
I was after checkmate at the point, and you playing that loud bloody music.
I mean, it's weird. Does it bother you? I mean, I'm assuming not, but would you prefer playing sort of in front of people that you don't know, or in front of sort of family and friends? Do you get more nervous playing in front of family and friends, or is it?
You definitely. I think you get more nervous in front of people you know. I think because I think there's more judging there, isn't there?
Yeah.
Sometimes it's more nerve-wracking playing when there's not many people there as well.
Yeah.
It's better to play in a busy place than it is an empty place.
Yeah,
I find.
So
because only them people that are in the room, there's not many of them. They're all going to be watching you. It's
If there's 300, if there's 300-400, you're thinking actually there's a good proportion of them that'll be chatting to somebody else and not necessarily listening. They're there, but if there's like
it's not. I think it's like a not out of body experience, but I imagine like playing in front of like no, it never happened, like 30,000-40,000 people. I imagine that'd be. I think that'd be a walk in the park. I would, because for you to be in that situation where you could do that, you'd be like, well, you're good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And we did like music festival headline one music festival last year, and it was like the day was like it was pissing it down all day. And then about 5:30, something like that, we were due on about 8 o'clock, something like that. And it was August, so obviously the sun sort of sets a bit earlier then. I always remember like the sun came out about 2 hours before we came on. When we came on, it was really busy. I remember just like, it's easier this, you know what I mean? It'd be a lot easier, and like Job said, playing in front of, if someone said, two people said, go on, sing for me or something like that.
Yeah.
It's embarrassed to do that, but you can't really focus on the, individual faces, and you sort of get like sort of wrapped up in the, in sort of moment, and that's sort of, what people sort of dream of. I know it was only like All Saints Music Festival, but it was, massive buzz. I was like buzzing me sack off, like, You know,
So what is the dream then? I mean, you mentioned. I mean, is it
Glastonbury, obviously, yeah.
is that you know? Would that be like?
God,
Yeah,
no,
I
we
think-
never get to that level.
No, I think it sort of is what it is. It is where we are, really. You know,
Yeah.
to be friends, as cheesy as it sounds. You know, get on, enjoy it, use it as a hobby, which you know it is. You know,
That's it. Yeah, it's not. Say I take myself too seriously doing it, and I still can't believe that I actually go out gigging as well. It's like I'm still doing it. You know,
have a laugh. Yeah, have a laugh. Really,
at this point, yeah.
Yeah, and sort of knowing, you know, that it's just us, experience that, whether it be, some bloke telling us to turn it down, or playing, like festivals and stuff like that. Yeah, it's just, it's a hobby first and foremost. But I've always been passionate about music, so it's sort of one of them sort of like it's like a minor sort of dream come true, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I remember like playing tennis racket, in front of a mirror as a
So basically, you're a wannabe musician, but you just sing now. Is that what you're saying?
I was a musician. I got to grade 4 in
Spanish guitar on it.
Oh yeah,
grade 4 in clarinet was that?
No, classical guitar. My old man, I was obsessed about Guns N' Roses.
It's not a bad band to be obsessed with, to be
fair.
Yeah.
And I always wanted to play guitar. My dad.
Hold on. Use Your Illusion 1 or Use Your Illusion 2?
1, but to be honest,
dude.
At that point, I was getting heavier. I was more into, like Metallica and stuff like that at that point, and then like Nirvana and stuff like that. Sort of, you petered out for me then. I was, first album, I was more into me grunge and stuff like that then. Okay. Yeah, but played. I got to like grade 4 Spanish guitar. Which my dad said, like, John Lennon, because I've always been obsessed with the Beatles, and he's like, John Lennon and Paul McCartney, they couldn't read music. Oh, read music then. And then next minute, my dad went through and like bought like a really expensive little handcrafted Spanish guitar, and I was next minute, I know I'm like a footstool reading music, great, going, what the fucking hell, doing GCSE music and all that. Yeah, and then got God knows, got a C in GCSE music, and then. Hit 16, discovered weed and girls and parties. And then here we are with Tambourine. Tambourine now. Grade 8 in Tambourine. Yeah.
I've never had a music lesson in my life. never did it at school or anything.
Well, that just shows you what you can do, doesn't it? You've got a passion, you've got a hobby, you've got an interest. Just crack on.
When did you start playing the drums anyway, Chopper? Because we used to knock about.
I don't remember you playing the drums.
No, I don't remember you. I remember the old cymbals.
I've known him for years. Pre all this, I've known Jopper since I was like 18. Jopper, we used to pick you up on a Friday. We used to finish early, and we used to go for a few drinks. Me, you, and Aggie.
Aggie.
Never said the only thing he said was drumsticks if he was hungry.
Symbols, symbols. That was it. That was nickname.
It must have been about. I'd probably say it must have been like the late 90s. I can't think when. Brooke used to live on Station Road, next to Fingers Blaney, was it? That's a reference for Gaz. That is.
Yeah. Gordon Blaney. Gordon Blaney was his name. Yeah.
So. He lived there, and he had these drums in his attic. I don't know why he had drums, because he doesn't play the drums. So it was then. So it must have been like the late 90s, early 2000s. Wow. And I just picked him up and just started playing. And that was it.
It's weird because obviously, watching you guys, and I was like, I desperately don't remember Jopper playing the drums. I never remember when we go out on a Friday night, be like, oh no, sorry, I've got to go for drum rehearsal, I've got to go band practice. You know what I mean? I was like, I never remember that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've had a few people saying, you never played drums at school.
Yeah.
Well, no, I didn't know.
No, you didn't know. That's right. Yeah.
As long as you don't have people saying it now, you're okay.
Can't play drum. I don't know.
Yeah. Someone said they've never seen you play drums now.
Hang on.
He's still got it.
He's never had it.
I'd get on him for you, but I've got him there somewhere.
Come on, You have to edit that. What's that, Joe? How do you know if a drummer's at your door? He knocks 3 times and comes in late.
Yeah, but like you say, I watch YouTube a lot, and then I pick a few things up off there, you know, techniques and.
I know he has.
Yeah.
You're going off the subject now.
Yeah, left turn.
You porn, you mean?
Yeah, that's what about YouTube, not Hub.
Other sites are available.
Yeah, you've got Monster, German.
Yeah, there's quite a few, as I understand.
Ex-Hamster.
Oh, dude, don't get us another ban on Facebook.
Yeah, you have liked you on Facebook, actually.
Yeah. Our podcast. Well, they don't do podcasts on Facebook anymore, so it's safe. But we got taken down for 3 weeks for an inappropriate joke. Yeah, yeah, they took our podcast off for 3 weeks.
You're on the Apple one, aren't you? Because I sort of like googled you today.
Yeah.
You're on the is it Apple podcasts or whatever?
We're everywhere: Apple, Spotify,
Yeah.
Google, iHeartRadio.
Yeah, so I always tend to on the podcast. I always go through the Apple one.
Yeah,
There's
we're on it.
quite a few good ones, you know, because I think it's like a the exclusivity. You know, we do stuff on Spotify and other sort of formats. Other formats are available.
And we're on all of them. That's the good news.
Yeah, we're not.
Like spread the wealth.
Yeah, literally everywhere.
Yeah.
In fact, you can even find us on IMDb if you look hard enough.
Right, okay.
True story.
You have to look very hard, by the way, but we are there.
Very, very hard, but we are on there. We are on.
Right.
I would tell you, actually, thinking about a bad gig, the one we did at Stoke Ground, Bet 365. It was a Christmas gig.
Oh yeah, yeah.
The PA messed up and only one speaker worked, didn't it? We just carry on. We couldn't do anything. Everyone was going, I can't hear it.
Yeah, you're just like this. And then
yeah, someone come up to me and said, "Can you turn it up a bit?" And I said, "It's up." Exactly. And I sort of like accused him of being wrong, knowing full well that one of the speakers wasn't working. And this was a paid gig for like a company that brought us in for a Christmas do, and I can't say who was playing next door to us. I'm not going to say. Dropping knows what I'm on about. You'd know him anyway. Well,
it's good in respect that we could sit in the box overlooking the pitch, didn't we, before the gig?
Yeah. I'll talk to you off camera.
Yeah, we'll look forward to hearing that one.
Yeah, absolutely.
So one of the speakers wasn't working, but it wasn't working very early on, and we decided not to do anything about it because we thought it was a problem with the PA. Turns out it was just the cable was dodgy, and we had a spare cable. So if we'd just gone, let's just try the other cable, most of the gig would have been perfectly fine. Yeah, and we just did nothing about it. Yeah,
but that wasn't the best gig, was it? I don't think it was the right audience.
No, it was all a bit. Yeah, I ended up doing like some. I got paid to do some bingo as well.
That was it. Yeah,
I made up all the numbers. So I was like,
I suppose it's quite.
I was like, so someone was like, legal in France, 15. Okay. I did like a gypsy one, and someone like some Irish person had a go at me. What was tarmac in the floor, 54, I think it was, or something like that. And number eight. I think number eight. Oh, the amount of children Boris Johnson has had. Number 8. Nice. But I tried to do the whole like one to. I give up after a while, but I did quite a lot. Some like went over a lot of people's heads, but I specifically remember the tarmacky one didn't go down well. The Tory one and the legal in France one that didn't go down well either.
Dear. But that same gig obviously didn't get much of a reaction off everyone.
Yeah.
As soon as the DJ came on, put S Club 7 on, that's it, they were up.
Yeah. Oh, we loved it, yeah.
Wrong crowd, obviously.
Yeah.
I tell you one place I've seen you play. Then you played the Leopard in Burslem, yeah.
Oh yeah, a couple of times.
Venue, that was R.I.P. Leopard, yeah.
Yeah, it's burnt down. It's burnt down now, isn't it?
Yeah, it's quickly. It's 1-1 anyway. England just go.
No.
Hurricane penalty. If anyone's listening or watching,
2
weeks ago.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. I've got another story about the landlady about the leopard as well.
It was a good pub, wasn't it? A good venue. We always got a good reaction in there, didn't we, as well?
Yeah.
Well, interesting enough, that place is supposedly haunted. Is that? Did you have any?
What's it called? I bet Fielding used to do like sort of some like ghost tours.
Ghost hunting there,
yeah, ghost hunting, yeah.
It seemed a bit because Sharon, the woman who had it, she was like in like 50s. I don't know how much I can say on this.
She was a drummer actually, wasn't she? She played drums.
Yeah, I've got a story.
Landlady did, yeah.
You can say whatever you want on here. That's absolutely
quick risk. I remember like one time, it was like the first gig we did, and she definitely took a shine to me. She was good looking, like, Lizzie's not going to listen to this. It is what it is. And like, he was going on about like, it was all haunted and all that, and he had like this room at the back as well. And said, "Oh, I'll take you around there." And I was like, "Oh yeah, go on." And she was being like quite touchy-feely with me and all that. And I was like, "Okay." And then it was like this big sort of like function room, and then it was like a stage, like a 4-foot stage, and I had this drum kit. And she's like, "Oh, I play the drums, I'm like, "Oh, okay, yeah." I remember I was like, we walked in, and it must have been about 20, 30 foot from where I'm through the doors, and she's on the stage, and it's just basically me in there, and she gets on this drum kit and starts doing this like couple of like drum solos and that, like I don't know how you flirt while you're playing with drums, like my boobs were flirting, let's put it that way. She had massive
she had them out.
She was just like that, like, and I remember just like going, what's going on? What do I do here? Do I like get closer and go, "Oh, there you go, oh, nice fills." It's very weird. I remember like coming back, and you were like, "Where have you been?" I'm like, "That was really weird." I don't know, like,
auditioning for a new drummer,
flirting with me through the medium of drums.
Yeah.
It was very
nice drums. Do you want to see a sticky keyboard?
Yeah. A sticky skin.
And there's your band.
Yeah, sticky drum foreskin. Oh, sorry,
no, that's a band name.
yeah, that's another one. Yeah, so many choices. It was a good venue. That was, yeah. We still played quite a few times on the Sunday, didn't we? As well.
Yeah. Nightmare parking.
Yeah, funny enough, I was just thinking about the part. Well, it was nightmare for Steve. God rest his soul, tight arse. He refused to pay £1 for the car park. Bless him. Yeah, it was a good one. Yeah, I think there might have been some sort of arson going on that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think
we can edit that bit out.
Yeah, we'll edit it out. But there's a lot of places that after COVID happened, sort of mysteriously burned down. You know what I mean? When they're short on the money. I'm sure it wasn't insurance fraud. If you are listening to this.
Yeah, well, probably 2%, not no.
But just while we're on the subject of the old C word, which careful now, COVID. So you guys did like Rockdown as well. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that? Like some of those videos that you put out? Because I've watched a few of those earlier.
Oh yeah, it was. I forget whose idea it was, but I think a few people, other bands were doing it, weren't they? We saw a couple of things on YouTube, whatever, or on the telly, and we thought, oh, we could do this. And then, we just picked the songs we wanted and managed to do it. So Steve did his bass line first in a click track, but then he'd do the drums only on his like whatever his computer, and then send it over to me, and then I'd copy it. Then we'd all do like an individual video, and then Bucky, without having his skills in video editing, he put it all together and timed it all, and so it was well put together.
It is well put together. You are, when you said that earlier before we started, I thought you were taking a mickey. I genuinely thought you were taking a mickey because it is really well put together.
I never actually none of that. No, that's just me miming. I mime all that as well.
Oh really?
Yeah. No, I'm just obviously I've had to record it. So Bucky's got one of these like portable mics. I'll sing into it, then I'll give it back to. It used to be a pain in the arse sometimes, when it's like that. Have you got that? I'm like, oh, fuck's sake, it'd be like 1 week when one would be like, we'd all be sort of like fluid, and then the beat. Oh, hang on, I've got that.
Yeah, so Steve would do his drums on his computer, but he'd put cymbals in where I wouldn't naturally. So I'd be trying to mime is to his drum track, and it'd take me about 20 goes to get it right. I'm like, yeah, Steve, why are you putting it there? Like, if you watch some of the videos, I'm like, that's it, you're having that one. So
yeah.
And I'd watch it back, and like, I'd be watching me. I missed it. There it is, that symbol again.
Yeah, but no one notices. Yeah, and, like
Yeah, but it's good. It's all good fun, wasn't it? Just kept people entertained and kept let people know we were still active, wasn't it? Yeah,
Yeah, I was quite like it doing the. I used to think I was like in the top of the pops in the 80s and just like miming it.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, I think Steve was more the forefront of like doing it because I don't know, he was always active, wasn't he? He'd like done this other like bass thing, and then you'd sort of, and like I say, a lot of times you do your sort of drum track for you, won't you? Because I think it might have been a bit more difficult to get the drums in like live.
Because obviously I got an electric drum kit and I could hook it up to my computer, but I've not got that involved with it to know how to properly use it and get the correct software, etc. I have recorded on my computer before, but I mean, I think it'd have been too hard for me to try and put a live drum track down for them to play along to, and
20 minutes to get you on Skype.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. Plus, it's fucking easy for Chopper. Chopper goes, right, send it to me. I'll do a really shit impression of playing the drum. And it's all the fills. But Chopper, you always beat yourself up about it, and I was like, can't even fucking tell any difference. Got that bit wrong. No one's gonna like really analyze it. If they are, it's sad.
I never noticed watching it back, dude. It is not obvious when you watch it back.
But Tim, you're probably thinking about the other Queen song because we did I Want to Break Free, didn't we?
Oh, I love doing that. I was got some Queen's clothes on. Yeah, that was quite funny.
Like raw on, didn't you?
yeah. Well, both of Liz's clothes just actually turned up now. Although Lizzie said my singing was terrible. I remember being drunk one night. I says, "Oh, what do you think about this vocal?" And she went, "Oh, that's not good. That isn't." I was like, "Oh, what?" And I was like thinking for ages, like, fuck it, I'll put it on. But people have said, like, oh, it was good, that was.
It was.
Just humour me.
Yeah.
It's no Freddie, let's be fucking honest. But the way he was dressed up was slightly Freddie. Minus a tash. Yeah, it was enjoyable, yeah. And then the last one we did as well, it was T-Rex, 20th Century Boy. Okay. We never managed to get like the video sorted because Steve had like a massive heart attack. Passed away like about 4 days. I think we were supposed to get the video done by Thursday because when we release it on Friday, and he had like a massive, out of the blue, massive heart attack on Tuesday, and then never got it. So Bucky made like a nice, it was very fitting, like a nice montage of old photos when he was in the band and all that. And I thought that was, it was a nice sort of fitting thing for it. Yeah, it's not closure or anything, but. Yeah, because he was like the driving force of all that, really.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah. It was sad, yeah. It still sort of upsets me now. Well, all of us, you know what I mean? But
no.
Well, anyone passing, you know what I mean? Anyone you feel fondly of.
Yeah.
It is. I do remember his funeral passing through it went through the centre of All Sage as well, didn't it? I do remember that. Am I correct when I say that?
I don't know. Did it? I can't remember.
No, because he was originally from. You went to his funeral. I was down in Dorset.
Yeah, it was up. I forget where it was now. Up near my mum's, like Northwich way.
Northwich, wasn't it? Northwich.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
New crematorium up there. Yeah.
Yeah, he's originally from Wales, like He lived in Dorset. It's quite weird, yeah.
Yeah, he was in Nantwich when he first joined the band, and then moved to All Sage, didn't he? So
yeah, he didn't move to All Sage because he'd been Double Denim Company that much. Who needs fucking Nantwich when you got All Sage and Double Denim?
Exactly.
Company, obviously.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we're getting close to round about the hour mark now. So one final question then for you guys. If you could, let's just say, like, obviously, you're not planning on taking this to the heights of filling Wembley Stadium. But if you had the opportunity to collaborate with somebody famous, known to us, or not, we don't mind, who would that person be?
Well, dead or alive?
Well, either.
Either.
God. Female.
That's a tough one.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Female got me Tina Turner.
Well, okay.
Yeah. She's fucking greatest, isn't she? Female singers.
I don't know if I could answer that one. I wouldn't know.
Jesus.
So would it be somebody that you'd want to substitute being a drummer in, or would it be a drummer that you'd love to play alongside with, or
drumming in a band or something? Yeah, I'd like to be. If you say that, guys, I'd like to be Clive Stubblefield playing with James Brown.
Yeah, that's good.
Nice.
Funky drummer.
Nice.
Everybody sampled that.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. He's on that good documentary about like the sort of 5 sort of bases of drumming, isn't he? That one that was on Sky. I used to have it on the old Sky. It's gone now, yeah. And he's always on there doing about like one of the greatest drummers ever. And like he's a drummer's drummer and all that. Yeah. It's basically like you say, like Job said, sample so many times, and would be allowed nowadays. Like in the 80s, so you could
sample that.
You could rob it. It was like basically feeding. Basically, you wouldn't be allowed now. But yeah, in them days, you could just sample all that. Yeah.
Fair play.
Well, I don't know, maybe someone who's not as good as me, so I'd feel better. Susan Boyle.
Guys, you set you nicely up there for Morrissey.
She's pretty good.
I thought we were going to go a whole podcast without Morrissey being mentioned. You had to spoil it in the last 2 minutes, didn't you? What have you done?
Better than Morrissey, yeah. But then again, what is a good singer?
Not Morrissey.
Yeah, but Bob Dylan, he's a good singer in my eyes, but a lot of people think he can't sing. But
I'd take Bob Dylan every day of the week over Morrissey. Every day of the week.
That's a Morrissey impression.
That's a cracky Morrissey impression.
Yeah. Funnily enough, we went to a wedding last week at Salford Lads Club. Actually, yeah, and it was all
really.
It was upstairs, but downstairs we still had jump. It was like, listen, it was like Germans wanted to have aerial. I mean, you had to take photos of all these like Germans dressed up like Morrissey, probably in like the late 40s, early 50s, and we were like in the wedding gear and all that, having photos outside. But the people were still going in there, and we had like the stall of all that, all the sort of memorabilia of all the Smiths and that. And I do like the Smiths side. I'm not like a massive fan, but I do appreciate them and some of their songs. What difference does it make is a fucking belter. I'll always say that.
There's one for Double Denim to work on their job.
Yeah. Gladiola in the back pocket, yeah. Swinging it round.
Absolutely. Yeah. That feels like a decent note to end it on, doesn't it?
Seems like a morose note to end
it.
Absolutely. So we always offer it up to our guests to say goodbye first. So which one of you guys wants to say goodbye first?
I'll say it. I'm Jopper. I'm the drummer in Double Denim Company. I'm signing off. Oh, and by the way, where do we get the Tall Boy Radio glasses from?
We'll sort you out with one of those.
What measures are they? What measures are the glasses?
Just let us know what size you want. We'll get you some made, because we don't actually sell those online. We make those here. And we just give them out to
I love one. I like that sort of like the Belgian sort of type one.
Yeah.
Like 400, something like that. Yeah.
We'll get you some made. No worries.
It's been a pleasure being on anyway.
Yeah, I'm gonna be ready to sign mine off, otherwise I'm going to be stuck with me for about another 20 minutes. Right. Might just close the lid. I think I'll just close the
lid. Proper old school, like proper rock out. You'd be like, poof, done.
Right, my name's Tim Hodgins, the lead singer of Double Denim Company. Never forget the company. It's been a pleasure. Very good. Over and out. Is that what you do?
I'll do nicely, yeah. No one's ever said it before, but why not?
As always, first, we're breaking new boundaries on Tall Boy Radio. It's been great. It's been a real good laugh.
Make sure you edit some things out that I said.
Never.
I'll tell you later.
You're quite clean, to be fair, Tim.
I haven't sworn that much, yeah. It's pretty good going.
Not that much before we said you were allowed to, and then after.
Yeah, then the floodgates are open, yeah, true. No C-bombs, though.
No, that's good.
That
No,
was
we don't like
shocking,
that word.
was, yeah.
Still recording. We're still recording.
There's still
Yeah,
time.
well,
Still time.
Don't stop it. Yeah. As I'm closing the lid, going. See you next Tuesday. Right, I'm gonna log off. See you next Tuesday, anyway.
Yeah. I didn't realise what you did there.
Perfect, yeah, I know. I'd like to think I knew what I was doing there, but I sort of caught it.
Brilliant.
Right.
Brilliant.
Cheers.
All right, cheers, guys.
No worries. See you later, guys.
That glass in bubble wrap as well.
Don't worry, we'll sort it out for you.
Yeah, we'll sort that out for you guys.
Right. Nice one.
Been
See
an
you
absolute
later.
pleasure, fellas. Catch you later, fellas.
Take care.